In this video I'm going to present you a lot of various Star Wars Battlefront 2 maps and locations accurately recreated in highly detailed LEGO builds that I have made over the years. After that I'll make a brand new creation to show you the process of turning these game locations into a real life LEGO models. Let's start with the truly classic Star Wars planet and very well known location to Battlefront 2 players. A Tatooine junkyard. This was a fun creation from 2022 that I made in 4 hours, and it allowed me to play around with various engine designs properly depicting colorful junk pieces. Second Tatooine location was this little 6 minutes build of the street near the cantina. Another desert planet present in Battlefront 2 is Jakku, for which I recreated this area of the map. The two levels connected by just a few beams allowed for a truly unique layout and structure which were essential for this location. Additionally, it provided a fun challenge to make it work, and it's a concept I will definitely revisit one day. To counter the desert planets, let's visit the water planet Kamino, where I recreated this entrance. It was a clean and simple build that was made under 40 minutes. The floor pattern and doors were made using stats not on top technique. A few years before that I made a similar location but with a different take on it, a combination of the entrance and rounded platform. Even the troopers used reflect the days when there were no clone trooper skins. My third and final creation from Kamino was based on clone barracks. I'm so satisfied with accuracy of this build, which was achieved thanks to once again side building techniques. We had desert and water planets. Now it's time for the forest planet, exactly Takodana, and this location of the second objective in Galactic Assault. I love how vibrant and action-packed this creation turned out. The key to get this location right was to accurately recreate the various hills and their layouts, as well as the vegetation of Takodana. All these combined resulted in a faithful recreation of that location. In 2018 I also built a creation for the first objective in Galactic Assault, which aged quite well in comparison to my current builds, and used the old First Order Jet Trooper before a new one was added in the Rise of Skywalker content in December of 2019, which brought to the game a new world, Agent Claws. Being inspired by the new planet and an amazing trailer for Trust content, I made this creation depicting a part of the jungle and various trooper classes inspired by Episode 9. I'm definitely going to build a bigger creation from Agent Claws in the future. There is another jungle planet available in the game, the Yavin 4, where I recreated the courtyard from the first objective. It was quite a simple yet very enjoyable creation, but if I were to do it now, I would probably change the color palette to more accurate one. Next creation will be based on the interior space of the Venator class Republic attack cruiser. It was a really big creation that was packed with a ton of details and textures. It required a lot of various techniques to accurately recreate that area of the Venator, which was quite recognizable, especially from Heroes vs Villains game mode. Solo A Star Wars Story brought to the game Kessel, which is a very unique map and has a cool vibe to it. That's why I decided to recreate a part of it in 2018. It was definitely a vibrant creation with an interesting color palette. Let's move on to a bit more friendly planet of Naboo, as it's time for my biggest Battlefront 2 creation so far, that recreated a part of this building. This was a huge project that took weeks of designing and building to bring to life. It's an awesome location with plants growing over the buildings, which brings quite a unique style, and there is a lot of vivid colors everywhere. Additionally, the beautiful architecture of feet only adds to this combo. Man, I need to revisit Naboo with a new diorama in a near future. My second creation from Naboo was this little 5-minute scene. It's time for the Salt planet with beautiful red minerals. I have always loved the look of Crate, so it was a great time to recreate this part of the map with trench area and smaller defensive turret. This is such a unique creation, still one of my all-time favorites. Everything here just works, from the color palette to design of the turret and the trench, as well as the minifigure placement, which allows this build to shine and nicely reflect the intensity of Battlefront 2 matches. I also made this little build of the sniper position on Crate. So how these creations are made? Usually it starts with me walking around the map, admiring this beautiful game and its locations, and then I see this unique view. I get that feeling which tells me this could be translated into a LEGO creation and at the same time be a fun project. Next I sketch or build a prototype model to determine the scale accurate to the LEGO minifigures. After I prepared the foundation for the freeform terrain, I once again compare it with the prototype model of the structures to check if everything works well together. Then I'm adding bigger base plates for the future structures. Let's build the side of the brick wall that has some visible time wear and damage done by the stone corrosion. Next I'm going to start the freeform styled terrain border with a small part of the Dark Town pathway. I continue this border design for the rest of the diorama. The temple elements are slightly different in color than the foundation we have built so far, and they are our next step. That's why I prepared this stone pillar in tan color with visible dark tan corrosion and some jungle moss in olive green. I'll place it in a dedicated spot. Next is this area with broken barriers. I'm building a front layer of stone foundation on which I'll add a barrier made by using these 1x1 pieces connected to a plate which I'm adding to the diorama. In the meantime, I build up the stone foundation for the future platform, as well as a small part of the terrain which will continue together to connect it with the far right side. I'm using a combination of reddish brown with olive green to accurately depict the jungle on Yavin 4, with addition of some green vegetation. I built this stone base with some damage on it off camera, which I'm going to place to the previously created spot. Let's add the barriers to complete the ruined temple structures. I also added the set of white crates and the diorama is nicely coming together. Let's make this tiny area with some plants overgrowing the damaged stone platform, on which we need to design this lamp. I'm making it in a very simplistic style with just a few pieces, and let's place it as well as the second set of white crates. It's time to design and build the remaining sections of stone platforms, the turbo laser itself, and to create a battle scene by using Battlefront 2 trooper classes. For this section I chose a side building technique which will allow me to put a lot of details like jungle moss, corroded stones and smaller plants to accurately depict this location. I'm using a similar process for this section, but this time I'm building in a regular way by just stacking some plates and tiles. I'm continuing this approach for the back section, where I'm leaving the place for the future turbo laser. Let's quickly design these green crates, which I'll add to the designated spots. So finally, it's time for the turbo laser, which is an essential element of this location. I have already designed it for my Takodana creation 1 year ago. I'm following that design for the most part, specifically the inner structure, but to be more accurate it needs some improvements, especially on the back section, where there should be a protruding element of the upper turret. Let's place it into a previously prepared spot. It's time to add minifigures. After hours of work, the final result is in front of us and I'm happy how this turned out. The freeform style of the terrain works here so well and allows for more organic representation of this location. The accurate recreation of the ruined parts of Yavin 4's temple are a fun element of the composition, which together with minifigures creates a really nice battle scene. I hope that one day we will get the Battlefront 3, which just like Battlefront 2 offers something for fans of every Star Wars trilogy. If you enjoyed this video, I encourage you to check out the next one, visible on the screen. See you soon!